Hi, this is Lab 2.6.1.3 Packet Tracer configure Cisco routers for Syslog, NTP, and SSH instructions. So we have the lab here and we'll follow the steps. So the objective: configure OSPF NTP, configure router to log messages to the syslog server, and configure R3 to use SSH connections. So let's see. Part 1. Configure the OSPF MD5 authentication. Step 1. So if we take a look, yep, step 1, it's the same. So it's test connectivity. All devices should be able to ping all other IP addresses. So let's go to the table. Let's go back to the lab. So this one is up. Link here is up. Link here is up. So let's see, if I'm going here, slide, and let's go to the table. I'm going to ping this one. So let's try ping. Yes, success rate 100%. Okay. Let's try the other IP address. Ping. Yep, success. Next one. Ping. Success. Yes. Oh, sorry. I forgot to put ping. And success. Next one. I did something wrong. Ping. And 192.168.1.3.1. Yes. Next one. Ping. 10.2.2.1. Yes. Ping. 92.168.1.5. Success rate. Yep. 0.6. Yep. And 0.3.5. So all of them we can ping to them. So I will just close this one. So this step 1 is done. Step 2, configure OSPF. Now we go to R1. So let's go back. Where is R1? That's R1. CLI. Enable mode. Okay, let's go back, get the password. So the enable password should be this one. Can we paste? Yes, we can. Configuration T, or configure T, I mean. And let's see. So we are doing step 2. So we go router OSPF 1 area 0 authentication message digest. And then step 3, configure MD5 key for all the routers in area 0. So we'll have to do this on R1, R2, and R3. Use the password for key 1. Okay, so this is R1 now. Is it? Let's see. Interface serial number 0 over 0 over 0. Yep. IP OSPF message digest key 1 MD5, and then the password MD5 PA55. Done. Now and right, so let's do this and go back to R2. Let's get back the enable. We still have the password saved. Yep. Conf T, and then interface serial 0 over 0 over 0 IP OSPF message digest key 1 MD5 and MD5 PA55, and right, and we'll close this one and we go back to R3. R3. I believe that would be R3. Yes, that's R3. So let's go back to the steps. Now enable. Still have the password. Okay, conf T, and then the interface is 0 over 0 over 0 IP OSPF message key 1 MD5 and MD5 PA55, and so now we've done this. Configure the MD5 key for R1 and R2 and R3 with this password. Now step 4. Verify the MD5 authentication configuration using the command show IP OSPF interface. So let's do this. So show IP interface OSPF, sorry, IP OSPF interface. Looks right. I'm just looking at the logs. Okay, so let's go to the next step. We'll see if there is any error later on. Now, we configure the NTP. On PCA, click NTP under the Service tab to verify NTP service is enabled. Let's go to PCA. So that's PCA. Service tab. We go to NTP and it is on. delete ask for the authentication. NTP under service tab, verify NTP service is enabled. So service is on. Let's put this aside. To configure NTP authentication, click enable under authentication. Use key 1, so 1, and password capital NTP, then small PA55. Alright, now we configure R1, R2, and R3 as NTP clients. So we close this one. Verify client configuration using the command show NTP status. So let's do this. So we go to R1. Let's start with R1. CLI, and we just go back here. Where is the command? So here, show NTP status. So we'll go here, show NTP status. So NTP is not enabled. There is no step here to enable NTP. Verify client configuration using, so NTP is not enabled. Let's look at this one. So these are the documents talking about this. There's stuff here we didn't do on the activity here, so let's follow the steps from the start. So we did this, we already finished, so, and we did that, and we need to do it to R2 and R3. Okay, so we didn't do this. Let's follow these steps. So we'll close this one. Looks like this one is not fully documented with the steps. These are the fully detailed steps for the lab itself. So now we'll go to R2 because we didn't do this step. We finished this one. So we go to R2 and we configure it also. So enable, oh yeah, we are enabled in the enable mode. Now conf t, let's go back, put this one. Okay, router OSPF 1 area 0 authentication, let's see, message digest, and there we are. So that's R2. Alright, let's go R3. Yep, that's the one. And we do the same to R3. So router OSPF, we have to go to conf t, router OSPF 1 area 0 authentication message digest, and right. Now configure MD5 key for all routers in area 0. So we did that. So let's go, this is R3, we'll close this one. Let's go to R1. Conf t. So we'll go to this interface. I believe we did it, but I'm just gonna do it again just to make sure everything is correct. Paste. Yep. Yeah, already exists. Yes, we've done this already. We go to R2. So let's close this one. Router 2. And on router 2, we'll go to this interface, serial 000, conf t. Alright. Now, IP OSPF and the password. Paste. So this one is done. Now we did not do on this interface. So we'll go to this second interface. Yes. And then same command again. Yep. Done. And then we jump to R3. So this one end right. Correct. Then we go to R3, which is this one. Command line. Interface. So we'll go to the interface. Conf t. Interface. And then go on. Same command again with the same password. The next step, verify, configuration verify, MD5 authentication first using the command show IP OSPF interface. So let's do this. So and right show IP OSPF interface. So it said here set up in area 0. Message digest authentication enabled. Yep, it's set here. Okay, verify end-to-end connectivity. Now, we've done this one. Yep. Configure, we've done this on PCA. Now this is, we did not do yet. So on R1, that's R3. I'll close this one, we'll go in steps. So we go R1, R2, and R3. So we have all three of them. R1. Let's go back to the steps. So we'll say NTP server is on this IP address. Alright. Same command on R2, same command on R3. So let's jump to R2. Now conf t, paste, NTP server, alright. And then we jump to R3, conf t, same command, NTP server, yep. Now we'll use this show NTP status. So let's end right show NTP status. And now it's say clock is unsynchronized, but now it said it's on. Now configure routers to update hardware clock. Alright. So we'll use this NTP update dash calendar command on R1, R2, and R3. So let's R1, paste, okay, R2, paste, yep, and R3, we need to go to conf t again, and yes. Exit global configuration and verify that all hardware clock is updated with show clock. So let's end right show clock. It's showing a very strange date, show clock, same date, and right, show clock, same date. Looks like it's the same date, it's alright. Now configure NTP authentication on the routers. So on R1 we'll do authenticate, give it the key and give it the password. So let's copy this one. Let's go to R1, T, paste, authenticate, and let's do key 1, and then the password with the hash. Right, paste, done. We'll jump to R2 to do the same. So NTP authenticate. E1 and the key itself. Now we need to jump to R3 to do the same. Let's write it this time. Authenticate. NTP trusted key 1, and then let's copy this one from the start. Alright, so all done. Now configure routers to timestamp log messages. So on R1, R2, R3 we're gonna save service timestamp log date in milliseconds. So let's jump to R1 first. Done. R2. Done. And R3. Done. Next step. Configure router to log messages to the Syslog server. Configure the router to identify remote host Syslog server that will receive the logging messages. If we go back here, this is the Syslog server that it's gonna receive all the logs on it. It's the same, so logging host with the IP address. So let's jump to R1. Now say that's the logging host. We jump to R2 and we jump to R3. So the router console will display a message saying the logging has started. Can we ping this IP address 192.168.1.6? Ping is yep. So now say logging host start, logging to host. So it is started already. Yep. Just took some time to do this. Let's go back to conft. So if we jump to R1, maybe you have to go outside. Yep. So it's just saying now it started. Right. Conft. And let's go to R2 and let's say here's initiated. Okay. And there we are. Conft. Now verify logging configuration. Use the command show logging to verify logging has been enabled. Okay, and show logging. Okay, in the conf mode. Show logging. There's nothing. And show. Yeah, logging is there. So why it didn't work? Logging. Yes. Okay. So syslog logging enabled. 4 messages logged. Okay. Now, next one. Examine logs of the Syslog server. From the Service tab in Syslog Server dialog box, select the Syslog Service button. So, let's go back to Packet Tracer, Syslog Server, Service tab, Syslog, and we have all the logs here from all servers. Observe logging message received from the routers. So yep, we have now next one, part 4. Configure R3 to support SSH connection. So now we go to R3 and we say this is the domain name. So let's go to R3, paste, alright. Create a user ID SSH admin with the highest possibility level. So username SSH admin, privilege 15, secret Cisco SSH BA555. So we're creating the username. Now line VTY04, login local, transport input SSH. Erase existing key pair on R3. Crypto key 0 size RSA. So exit, paste. Since there is no key found already, alright. You might see those, there is one. Yep, we've received this one. Now we're gonna generate another key. So let's do this. Crypto key generate RSA. Paste. And instead of 512, we'll enter 1024, which is 1 kilobyte. Okay, and press OK. Now, show IP SSH command to show current setting. Verify that the authentication timeout and retries are at this default 120 and 3. Let's see this one. So we end right, save the configuration file. Now show, what was the command again? IP SSH 120 authentication retries 3. So all right. So we'll change timeout and authentication parameters. Timeout 90. So let's go back to config T. Yep. IP authentication retries 2. And then the version is version 2. The SSH version. Now we'll do show again. We can do this show IP SSH. So it's enabled, authentication 90, it tries 2. And instead of going, we do end and do the show command. we can in configuration T use the command do and then show IP SSH, and it will give you the same without going out of this configuration mode. Now attempt to connect to R3 via telnet from PCC. So on PCC select command prompt and enter the command. So let's do this now. Okay, so let's go back here. Where's PCC? I believe it would be this one. Yeah, that's PCC here. So now we desktop command prompt and we go telnet. So telnet open closed by foreign host. Let's continue. R3 has been configured to accept only SSH connection on virtual lines, terminal lines. Now configure R3 using on PCC. So we'll use SSH -L with the admin, with the username admin and the IP address. So let's try this now. Yes, that's SSH -L. Username is SSH admin. Target 192.168.3.1. Yep. So it's the password. It's Cisco SSH BA55. Cisco SSH BA55. And we're in. Next step, connect R3 using on R2. So we go to R2 and we try this command. So let's jump to R2, paste. Strange, it didn't put dashes. So it's here -v, let's do -l, SSH admin, and the same password, Cisco SSH BA55, and we're in. I'm in R2 and now I SSH session into R3. Now we need to check results to see that we have completed the lab. So we'll just close all of this. Now here we check result. Incomplete. Let's see what is not finished. So all of this is correct. Incorrect is OSPF on R2 authentication. So R3 also. So these two commands we are missing. So let's do them again. So I'm going back here. Let's go up. So what was the error again? This one. So let's see. Let's do it again. Go to R2. do it. Let's jump to R3 and do this. So let's jump to R3. Okay, let's do the steps for R3 first. So router OSPF 1. Yep. Okay. And then R3 also will go to this interface. Yep. Right. Show IP OSPF interface. Okay, let's close this one and exit. Let's do this also on R2. So let's go back to the steps. Okay. Pretty sure we've done this before. R2 paste. Yes. Key already exists. Yep. Second interface. Yep. And right. Close. And let's check again. Activity incomplete. Please try again. Why? So it's incorrect in R1 also. It's still incorrect here. So what is this one? OSPF process ID 1 area authentication. So these are the three ones incorrect. Let's go back to the steps. Or let's close this one. And go back here. So let's verify end-to-end connectivity. So we've done all of this, so it's something in this part 1. Let's go back to the steps here. So I think we're missing this step, verify end-to-end connectivity. So let's see. Just see what is verify end-to-end connectivity. Just checking connections to all of them with IP addresses. Show IP route. Strange. What is this one? So show what was the password again? Cisco ENPA55. Let's copy it. I will copy this one, paste. Yep. Show IP route. So I've done all of this. So what is missing exactly? So in part 1 I've done all 4 steps and still it's saying it's incomplete. So it's always saying this one. So this is routing. OSPF process ID 1, area authentication, area 0 incorrect. Why? We've done this here. Let's configure OSPF MD authentication for router in area 0 and configure the MD key on interfaces. Use a password. Okay, so if I go let's close this one. I think I know what is missing. No, it looks fine. Yeah, I can't find any problem with this. Okay, let's run this command on all of them. Copy R1. Yep. AR2. Yep. R3. Alright, so this is the NTP. Syslog, SSH, RSA, connection. Okay, still incomplete. Why? This is in routing. Again, in routing and routing. Strange, I followed all the steps and still there's one missing. Okay, I'm reviewing all the steps again. We've done all of that. Okay, we've done all of that also. I don't know what is missing. We've done all the steps. I believe we'll have to check with the support people on this lab again, but I'm pretty sure we followed every step on this one. So on the routing, there are 3 steps missing, which are these steps. Process ID 1,